So you're a small business and maybe it's been really tricky during this COVID lockdown. Maybe business is really struggling and you're looking to either improve your business so you can get back on your feet. Maybe you're just looking for a few extra new avenues. So today's video is ideal for you. It's helping small businesses grow, but particularly helping small businesses grow in Google and finding out what is it Google's looking for. What can you take advantage of? In fact, I've put together 9 ideas, tips, hacks, whatever it is, that I feel will be really useful. They're either things that people aren't doing, they're things that are just beginning to change that will help you, or they're things that maybe you've seen in a video beforehand and now this is the time to do it. So over the next 9 minutes, I'm going to give you 9 tips that are going to help your small business grow today. Welcome to Zanet Design. So I'm Zane from Zanet Design, and I'm a web designer that's helped lots of businesses in the past grow and help them to perform better, improve, look for traction in Google, looking for ways of improving their customer relationship and so on. And I try and bring my experience and the knowledge I've gained to help you do that for your business. So as I go through the next 9 minutes, I'm going to try and put together 9 tips that are either things that people aren't doing, things that will give you an advantage over your competitor, or things that you can do now because of COVID. Google's given a few extra things out in the last few weeks that are going to help you to take advantage of. So follow these 9 tips now. There'll be links to either videos or there'll be links to other URLs that you can go to. And if you follow these 9 tips, there's no doubt about it, it will give you an advantage on your competitor. So let's dive straight in and take 9 minutes to show you these 9 tips. 9 tips in 9 minutes starting from now. So the first thing is just to consider your categories. And Think with Google has this excellent website you can go to. So you can put in there a search, so say for instance you're in the United States. It will tell you now what people are searching for currently. So it could be that you want to just expand into a new avenue, a new category. Maybe your shop can take on a new way of offering, say items. Maybe you could go into water parks and slides if that's something that could relate to, say, you're a surfboard shop or so on. It's an unusual situation. If you dig deeper, it'll give you more things. So magic shaving powder is what people are looking for. So these are real search terms people are looking for. And there is business here. So it's just something to consider. I'm just going to look at United Kingdom. Egg cookers. For some reason, egg cookers seem to be the thing that everyone's after. Paddle boards as well. Everyone now is allowed out at sea, so they're going into paddle boarding. This is just an excellent little tool that I'll put a link to down below that will just give you maybe some ideas as to other new businesses or categories that you could go into over the coming months to build on your business. Now the second thing I've already covered before in this video, so I'll make sure that there's a link to it, but it's basically a COVID business recovery from Google My Business, and it was just talking about this video of how you can get donations and gift cards. So gifts and donations are really important and you can add them to your business profile. But in this week, the reason I mention is this week 18 more countries including Italy, Spain and Japan have now got this facility being added. So you can have PayPal, GoFundMe for donations. You can have your own gift cards on your website. So I cover all this in this video, so I'll put the link down below. Now the third area then that I'm going to look at is buttons, but this button is particularly the one that says request a quote. So Google's making it easier and easier for people to get hold of you now by means of a request a quote. So this is another video that will show you how you can put your quote button or other inquiry buttons on your Google My Business listing. Is you need to enable it and you need to then have the app installed on your phone. And what that does is when they click that, it takes them through to literally like a text to your phone to ask if they can have a quote, to ask for some details. And if you're a restaurant, it'll be a book a table. It's that type of thing. Now moving on to the fourth area, that of attributes. And if I look looking say for Japanese cafes in London, I was just looking through here to see what was available, and I did notice there's a new set of attributes that I've not seen before. Maybe I've missed this, but in the past things like how expensive it is. So this one's got 1, which means it's less expensive. But what you'll notice as well is dine-in, delivery, takeaway. These are things now that are being advertised, and this is done through attributes. So I've got a complete video about attributes, Google My Business attributes. I'll leave the link down below for that. So again, I want you to just have a look at that, see if that applies to you, see if that's something that you need to look at. Just one thing to mention as well, that this week there's going to be new attributes coming out. So there'll be things like online classes, online appointments, online estimates. Google are saying that these things are coming out. And just one other thing as well that I noticed, I don't know if it appears on all of these, let's just have a look. But you notice again things like having a square meal. So moving on to number 5, and it's just about bearing in mind that many of the businesses at the moment are showing temporarily closed. Now it might be that you open up this week or in the next few weeks, but you need to remember that needs to be changed. So it'd be no good if you're opening and wondering why people aren't finding you. So going back to the video that mentioned about how you can mark something as temporary closed, now you want to mark it as open. So you want to make sure that you then undo this part when you log in to your business. And again, if you want to see how that was enabled and disabled, then that's covered in how to update my Google My Business temporary closed, which I'll put a link to. So follow that video through as well, and that will help make sure you've got that absolutely spot on. And then you can get the inquiries coming through again, rather than go through all this. So you just notice there that people might be able to even report if they see that you are open and that's incorrect, they can report it. So Google to some degree will open it up for you if there's enough people reports that. But don't leave it to chance. Get open as soon as you're open and make sure then you get people through the door. Now on to my next one is Q&A, keywords. Now you may recall that just a few days ago I produced a video that was all about keywords for Google My Business. And we mentioned the importance of putting keywords in description, posts and testimonials. I mentioned FAQs as well. You'll notice where you see them. So basically when you go to a listing, you'll notice that you have see all questions, questions and answers, ask a question. And I was using the fact that when you've got questions here, people are asking questions, they do sometimes get answered, but they're generally not answered by the owner. And what I'm going to say is if you're the owner of your business, go for each question, answer them accurately, use keywords. If you want to understand more about keywords, then go to that video, which I'll give you a link to. And when you use keywords, what you're doing is you're giving signals to Google about your business. So think about the questions that people are asking you in real life and add them as questions, and then give the answer yourself. And that will really help you to improve your keywords in your listing and help people then find you because of the relevancy of those keywords. So when it comes to having a healthy listing, you may recall that again I showed a video the other day of how you can do a scan on your business. And this is really important. At the time I had 5 or 6 that didn't come up. I've now gone through those. I've got 2 that have been listed, but at the same time they still are not being found. And I think you'll find that when you do a scan, sometimes the server doesn't pick up even though you have registered it. But this is all about the importance of trying to have a consistency on all of these different citations, making sure that when people look online for you, the local listings have your business correct. So this is just another tip that I feel most people don't do. They're too scared to go beyond perhaps the ones they're familiar with, like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and they don't want to go onto these other citations and other sites, but these are the ones that are actually giving people credit. So you'll find that when you do searches for certain types of categories, these things will have quite an impact. So as an example, if I go to, so for example, if I did London tapas, and here you get best tapas in London, TripAdvisor, you get Time Out, you get Groupon, Open Table, and so on. So that's an important part. Get your local listings listed on here. So again, I'll give you the link so you can do this. It's free and you can check to see how far that link is finding your business. Moving on to number 8 then. So social profiles. So I had this the other day, profiles. This one's just showing Facebook. You'll notice I've got a video here that's saying about if you want all 5 profiles, or there can be even more profiles depending on what your category is, what your business is. But just check this video out. This one's gone down. It's a really popular video that's just taken off just a day or so ago, but it's going to give you a lot of ways in which you can feed Google, give the cheese to Google so that Google bites, nibbles away, and then starts putting these up. You can't control this, but Google can. And finally, this is a really nice little tip. It's free as well. How do people find you? How do they see you when it comes to trying to find your business? Now, this is a little useful result checker. I'll give you the link below. And you can do some interesting things here. You can check out how people see you. So for example, if someone in New York was looking for a say they were coming over and setting up a business where I live in Southbourne. So they're in the United States. So this is going to give them the results. So I'll go for the Google search results and let's see how you want to basically see what page do you come on in Google. So let's hope we're on page 1. Let's see. So there you go. I'm in the top 3 there. So that's basically telling me that if someone in New York search for a Southbourne web designer, then they will find my web design amongst the 3 that come up. And of course, if they went beyond that, they'll then see the complete breakdown. So hopefully those are 9 in 9 minutes. I think it's just about that. Hopefully that's been really useful. The idea of this is not to overwhelm you with things to do, but it's to go through these things. Are you doing them? If you're not, why not take one at a time and do one thing a week even? Because if you had all these 9 things in place, then you're going to grow. You're going to experience people picking up the phone. Your business will no doubt survive better than it would if it was left alone, if it didn't have these extra things in Google. Google likes you to use the attributes, the buttons, the Q&As, the keywords, the social profiling. All these things give your business authority in Google's eyes. And unfortunately, Google does pretty much own business when it comes to linking your customers to your business. So people, 95% of people will use Google in one form or another to find your business. And unfortunately, Google owns the rights in effect to dictating what they want from us as business owners. So if we go along with it, if we try and play ball with them, then we'll see some growth in the coming year. And hopefully more and more businesses will survive if they can do the right thing at the right time. So I hope this has been a useful video. If there's any of these videos that you want to follow now, I'll put the links down below. If not, I'll put one for you to follow that will just help you to know what to do next.